It is 6 in the morning. I am starting to wash all my shit that is dirty from Brazil, and I have like how many hours? 6 in the morning. I go in 12 hours again. In 12 hours, 6 in the night, I fly from Zurich back to Sao Paulo to my brother. I don't give a fuck. I spent almost all of my money to go back there because I only came here to train again. But in order to train, I have to work because when you live in Switzerland, you have to always working. You have a lot of bills to pay. And honestly, I hate my job. It makes me depression. I cannot, I would rather kill myself. So that is not an option. I am forced to go back and put it all on YouTube, guys. I put it all on YouTube and I go full in. This time I have nothing to lose. The content will be crazy, guys. I'ma tell you honestly right in the beginning. From now on, I just throw the fucking stuff inside. I wash it. It is 6 in the morning, guys, as I tell you, man. So I am fucking tired. I didn't sleep. I still had the jet lag. But you know, life is like this. Who gives a shit? Then I will pack my things and I will tell my family, hey, I go back. Fuck it, bro. No, honestly, man, I cannot live this life that these people here in Switzerland are living, man. Just work, 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 and being in the hamster wheel. Hey, I get crazy, guys. I need to go back to my Brazil, make crazy content, and find ways to survive and thrive with my brother Aaron. The rest is secondary, man. It's crazy. I feel stupid for my decisions, but I blocked a guy who wanted to make contract with me. I blocked him on Instagram, on WhatsApp, everything. So he will not make contract with me. I just go fly away. Guys, I have no other option. As I said, he been packing my stuff. You will see me, guys. Fuck, guys. How do I look, man? I almost slept zero somehow. I didn't really sleep. I am still tumbling my clothes. I didn't know if you saw it, man. Still in the wash machine. Hey, I was afraid because the list was overbooked. Everybody's washing right now. So I was thinking, man, I have 4 more hours and now my clothes are really wet. I cannot go and put that wet clothes in my backpack. So I was hustling down and I saw the clothes of the other guy. And I finished it for him, you know. I laid it down, I folded and stuff. And then he came down, and this was my old school friend of mine. We went together to school, and man, he was totally cool. He said, no, it's no problem, I am already finished, you can wash. And I was like, oh, thank you, man, very much, man, because otherwise I would be fucked. Otherwise I would be folding those wet clothes in my backpack, and that would be really fucked, because I have only 23 kilos with wet clothes. You know how much weight that's gonna be, so that would be fucked. But now I'm sorted out. I only have to do another tumbler, you know, fix all this stuff, man, pack. And second episode, Brazil, you know, I go to the airport. I'm already, right now I still have jet lag from the flight that I came with, and now I get another additional jet lag for the flight that I am going to. It will be fucked. Aaron, my brother, has an operation right now. He told me on Friday, today, his second eye, because he has problem with his eye, so that he won't lose his sight. He's get the second operation, man. So after that, he has to recover for 5 days. That means that I make content on my own till we see him, and then we sorted it out somehow. Either we go to Belo Horizonte or we go to Rio, make carnival videos, talk to nice girls and stuff. And yeah, that's just basically gonna be the plan. I am here, the yerba mate is here strong, but I don't use the yerba mate now. I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fix myself a coffee. I must be looking horrible. I didn't even look myself in the mirror. Bro, somehow it is snowy somehow, and people are waiting to get their children there, if you see, man. So that's another thing. Snowy in Zurich. We don't give a fuck. This time I take the creatine with me, man, because creatine is also expensive in Brazil, and I need to hold my muscle mass a little bit. I have to work out. We have to find a way, guys. It's always like this. See you, man. Check smash. See you, guys. And the guy that wanted to make contract with me, man, I blocked him. I had to block him because man, I don't want to get calls and stuff, and then I'm ask myself, hey, what are you doing? Why you don't take the contract? I said yes to the contract, but now I changed my mind. I'm gonna go back to Brazil because we didn't finish business, and I cannot let my bro hang there with no camera and stuff, and it's about to be carnival. So, bro, the contract is gone. I I shooted it on the way. And let me tell you something, guys, what I think right now about the system. It is really important. I don't give a fuck. It's not gonna be a fancy vlog. Now you will see me talking, and I don't really give a fuck because I'm gonna give you my truth, what I think. And nowadays, what is happening? We all see, like, bro, globally. I mean, we are in front of a crisis. I mean, the economy is about to break down. We have like, how do you say, man? I can't even know the name in English. Uh, what is the name, man? I don't know, man. Collapse, whatever you want to call it. But the problem is really, honestly, man, they are destroying the currency. They are destroying the dollar. They are destroying the euro. Basically, what they are doing is they are destroying cash. I'm gonna give you an example, man. I wish I would have the Swiss franc by me. I don't have. But bro, I don't even have a bill. What the fuck? Never mind, guys. So basically, they are destroying the currency, and what that means is you get cheap labor, because when you attack the currency, the first that gonna suffer through it are the people who do normal work, the blue collar work. And honestly, me, I'm a construction worker, and we all doing the blue collar workers, we get screwed. Hey, the last 5 years we got fucked. We got like inflation of 20-30% when you look at it from a perspective of all the food, all the housing and stuff. So bro, they are squeezing us out like a lemon because the value of the currency is declining. And maybe you don't see it in the Swiss franc, but what we actually can see is that you get less for your money. The Swiss franc isn't declining, it's strengthening when you compare it to other currencies like the dollar or the euro, but still we have huge inflation. I mean, the housing and stuff and the food prices and all, I don't even want to talk about that shit, but we getting fucked, we're getting squeezed out. And the thing is, like, the problem is then what do you get? You get cheap labor. That means my labor that I do. And this is the thing, when you compare labor, I'm a construction worker, I build houses, I build value, I construct things that is of real value. So I spend my whole time that I have, right now I'm not, because I say right now I give myself a break because I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to get screwed over all the time. But honestly, I do the important work like constructing buildings. So I do value, I build value that is real value. What do they give me in exchange for? They give me a fucking currency, like some stupid ass bill, who is basically declining in worth so much, and it isn't even really valuable, because the real value is me working on the site, constructing the buildings. So you spend there for a fucking stupid check, and the check is only temporary because you don't get a steady revenue income as if you would sell a course or a program. You just get a stupid ass check for the hours that you work, and that check will decline in value. And no, it's a scam. It's a big scam. And when you see how the system is designed, how the elites wanted it to construct that way, and how they designed a system that is only benefiting them. If you have capital, you can grow your capital. It is so easy nowadays to grow a big amount of capital, but when you have no capital, work is almost underpaid and seen as lower tier, and you are looked down upon as a peasant. And those are all things that make me think, like, man, nowadays, even in Switzerland, you have to be like a fucking ass millionaire to even have one kid. So it's a complete scam. And People are dropping out of the system, and I'm not saying I'm dropping out, but honestly, kind of, because I feel screwed. I feel screwed over like so many others, and I have no kids, I have no girlfriend, I have no reliabilities that I have to say, hey, I have to stay here now, and I have to constantly work. So I'm just play a little bit with my life. I mean, life is a game anyway. Your heart is beating from second to second. Who knows what happens in the next second, man? So to play it safe is the biggest risk. I'm just traveling the world, be myself, make more content, and especially start filming myself more. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I don't have to prove anything in front of you guys. But those are my thoughts. I mean, if they would have built a system that is, how do you say, that incentives are for workers and give them a perspective, and you give them incentives that they want to work, for example, the possibility to raise a family, the possibility of buying your own house, a stable house. I'm not talking about the stupid apartment that you are leasing and only are barely able to pay month per month. I mean, better conditions. And that's the reason, also, especially in Europe, you see the reason. You know why they import all the third worlders and all the Africans? Because the Africans, they don't complain about working, about their work standards. The elite can lower the working standards, they can make more hours, they can pay you less and stuff. You know, the Europeans will complain. The rich Swiss guys, they will complain. But an African migrant, third world country, who just came here for 2 years ago, he won't complain. He will do the work, and he will bust his ass up more than you or than I do. And that's the reason why they are still able to do what they do, and the system didn't collapse already, because the migrants that come in from cheaper countries, they are willing to put up with it. People that are born and raised in Switzerland, like for example me, or a couple other guys that I know, they are fed up with it. I mean, even when I look to my neighbor, I have a neighbor one side beside me. People who know me know the video, they know. He's also fed up. I mean, what do you think we people are? Are we stupid or what? No, I don't think so, man. And it's getting tight. I mean, 2028, they wanna increase the tax. Now the overall spending tax in Switzerland is 0.8 or 8.8. I'm not sure, but they want to increase it by 2028 and to a significant amount. And it's just, who's going to affect that? Exactly, the blue collar workers the most. And just something that Europe is getting deliberately destroyed if you don't see through it. And I mean, a lot of people, they are trapped. I mean, if you have family, if you have, some people have family, some people have kids, some people have other people, and those other peoples are reliant and dependent on them, so they can't just ditch the system. I understand you guys. That doesn't mean that I say you are stupid just by putting up with it. But I don't know, man. Because right now what it is holding, the people that are holding Switzerland together, Europe together, are the migrants that came, that are willing to put up with their conditions. A lot of them don't work maybe, but the most of them, they are willing to put up and work with in these conditions. Well, if they don't change and the situation worsens, I don't think the system will collapse like in a horror movie or something, and it will like an earthquake or something. I think it will just slowly degrade over time, and that's just a condition that people have to put up with. Like Brazil or something, it will change into something worse, but maybe life overall start to get better. Maybe people start to build cohesion again and function as a group instead of being too individualistic and stuff. All thoughts that you have to consider. But that's also a point. Like for example, when I look in Brazil, the difference between rich and poor is vastly greater than in Switzerland. I would guess. Maybe I don't know the stats, but it looks to me like that. But what I don't think is vastly different is the social cohesion. They have a much bigger amount of Brazilians than Switzerland have Swiss people, and they don't also have they have a lot of cultures, but the cultures share a mostly similar ideologies or religion, so they can build more social cohesion and they trust each other more on the streets, and that's something that in Switzerland is really rare, because in Switzerland is the only reason why all those different religions and different cultures are the reason why they all are getting along with is because they all don't want to offend them by their main purpose, and that is getting money. As long as the system is providing the money for them, there won't be any major conflicts. But once the system starts to not working anymore and it will not give any money anymore, then you will see really, really crazy conflict, I think, especially because you have those different cultures and religions that are mostly not compatible in Switzerland and in Europe. So I see a lot of problems. Sometimes I see more problems, sometimes I see less. Generally, in comparison to the BRICS country like China, Russia, India, maybe Brazil, I don't know, but it sounds stupid, but I see them more thriving and I see them in better conditions in the next 10 to 20 years in comparison to the European Union and its other parts like Switzerland. But those are all things to consider. Maybe I'm wrong. Guys, I love you. I just do the travel content, sometimes politics if I like. But honestly, forget everything about that bullshit and better talk to girls. I think that. See you guys. Love you, man. And also, like, what I see is like the Swiss state is getting so authoritarian that basically you can't do nothing. I mean, if you look at my balcony outside, if I would build something, if I would put a fence over it or something, if I would design something that I want to improve my balcony, the how do you say, man, the company that is providing these apartments, they would straight write a letter and straight to reinforce their will and say to me that I can't do this and everything. So they would restrict me in my freedom to design some things just because of looks or something like that. And basically it's just Switzerland is getting too authoritarian. You are losing freedom day by day. And that's something, for example, also that's a stupid but a really simple example. I know Argentinians in Brazil, they buy beer, they buy water. When it is carnival, they go on the street with a big sack, with like a really big, how do you say, 4x4 tank, and they sell the water and the beer. They don't need no agreement from the state. They don't need no papers. They just sell. Nobody throws shades on them. The government won't give them a fine. Nothing happens. They make their money. They sell their beers and waters. They go home, made a little bit of money. So they have the freedom to express their creativity and find other ways to survive and thrive in the system. So they have pretty much free choice. In Switzerland, if you do that, first of all, this shit is so regulated. You cannot just sell things on the street. I mean, you can try, but when the police will see you or something like that, they would rather fine you and rather tax you or do whatever they can. So it is much more authoritarian, and the system here is so strict that all the people lost their creativity. And they are either within the system, that means working like a systematized and mechanized or whatever you want to call it, or you ditch the system, but good luck ditching the system, because then you are really an outcast. Whereas in other countries like India, like Nigeria and stuff, or more BRICS countries, I see people express their creativity a lot more and have a lot less state intervention. Something also to consider.